Two.
I really want to let this go.
Let's really. Can we go somewhere else, please?
I mean,
Like just anywhere else.
anywhere else.
Anywhere else. Yeah, it's like.
All right, fine. Hey, welcome, Pastor Kabsa. It's your boy Adi. What's happening? What's poppin'? Episode 251. I got the homie Tuxar behind me. I got the homie Shams right next to me. Listen, number one is in the building somewhere.
Yeah, Galag asked him about what we cut in the beginning.
Yes, yeah. This one definitely we need to cut.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
anyway, shout out tens of tens. Let's get tens of viewers.
Sorry.
Okay. You know what?
I wasn't plugged in. Yeah.
I got electrocuted for a second. I thought it was me.
Thank you for joining us, Turks.
Anyway, Ramadan Mubarak, everybody.
كلامته بخير.
وانت طيب صحة وعافية. Anything else?
صيام
Okay, he was saying it to the audience.
She's looking at me though.
I was saying anyway. We're
How's Ramadan so far?
good. Way too much traffic. But that's to be expected, unfortunately.
Work is so much fun.
Yeah.
What work?
Exactly.
That's how you feel about it?
Everything's delayed. Everything is pushed back.
It feels like after Eid gets earlier and earlier.
Mute me for a bit. Ad.
Huh?
Mute me.
Ugh.
No, but it's nice. It's more chance to spend time at home, more chance to spend time with family. You know, the Ramadan occasions of al-jalabiyat and big futur, breakfast, sufrat is always appreciated and nice to have.
Oh, really? You didn't send us pictures of your jalabiyat, Shamsi?
And it's not my jalabiyat.
He posts them on his online store, but he has a paintbrush on his head, so no one sees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a very specific reference.
Booty cat, Shamsi? Is that it?
I've been prepping, bro.
Is that where we can find jalabiyat,
What are
Shamsi?
you talking about? It's preparation.
So, what kind of decorations on your jalabiyat?
You see the detailed shots في شعر.
دائما في هلال.
Just a hairy wrist.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, Ramadan has been really rough.
For you?
Yeah, man. Because like from 6 p.m. till 4:46, it's quick. It's really quick, bro.
But it's a lot of time to do things, and you know? You don't feel like you have enough time to do.
Time flies.
What do you
bro.
mean? يعني فطور
هذا متأخر يعني.
الفطور and the associated coma, it's like that's 2 hours.
Very true. I was actually talking about that as soon as we walked in. I don't know why, but every single day after futur, it's like, yes, nap time.
You've discovered insulin spikes here, Shamsi.
Is this me growing older?
No, you idiot.
You know, is this a process? You know,
It's been happening for your whole life. You just noticed it now.
no. Now it's more.
What do you have for
Noticeable.
I can take a guess here.
Shorba sambusa full.
Yes.
Carbohydrates.
Very
Carbohydrates.
bad. Shorba's carbohydrates. I don't know.
Is it Quaker? It's made from oats.
No, it's usually خضار ولا جريش, so it's different.
جريش.
شرب الجريش, huh?
Yeah. حب. Yeah, فيها حبة جريش.
The famous protein-infused substance called jarish.
Yes. ما عليك, it has a taste.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
you?
Just soup.
Just soup.
Yes, and mento.
And mento.
Yes.
So what happens to the mento?
It goes into the soup.
No.
Pan-fried mento.
It's gyoza.
Okay.
He's having gyoza. He's calling it mento because, culture.
Yes.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
I refuse to acknowledge the whole country and everything that it has.
Okay. Korea? Is that where gyozas are from? I don't know.
You know what?
You know
mind.
it. No,
Okay.
no.
Never mind.
Missed the joke.
I'm gonna let the public just
Okay.
witness all this for yourself.
I'm not having
Anyway, so yeah, it's been heavy. Good, great stories, boys. Oh my God, so much captivation.
Number one, any Ramadan?
I am trying to commit as much to my weight cut during Ramadan. It's going swimmingly so
Okay.
far, which is, it's 8 o'clock, gym time.
Okay,
Now-
so let's move on to something that actually makes sense because y'all conversations are boring as hell. Y'all have no lives.
As always.
Y'all have no lives.
As
Oh my
always.
God, man.
Consistent.
Consistency. yeah.
Shows. Any shows, anything.
Did you watch any Ramadan shows?
I tried. I did my best.
What happened?
What happened? Have you seen the shows?
I tried.
Look,
I did not do my best.
I watched Khairo's show, Plan B,
Okay.
which I
Yeah.
love the name.
خطباء.
Okay. But I don't love it for what it is. I love it for, anyway. So,
Okay.
Plan B, babe. I was like, oh, Khairo, our boy, Hajjaj, our boy also. Yo, let's watch
Exactly.
The boys. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I was like, play episode 1. And from episode 1, I realized really, really quick that both of them deserve so much more. bro.
Amen.
Okay.
They deserve so much more.
This is not a Khairo show.
They're not letting them be.
Hajjaj show.
They're not as creative as they want to be. They're not. It's like, I feel like, to be honest, watching it, like there's a whole team behind cameras and there's some sort of pressure on them to perform in a certain way. Like,
to follow the script. As,
yeah, Khairo is naturally funny. Why are you trying to make him funny? Why are you trying to make him physical funny? Why does he have to come down like, smack Hajjaj? Like, why?
Is that the boyoing style of editing?
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
And like, they're too good for that show.
So it's overcooked, you would say, or overdone.
It's like, okay, you know how we always talked about how like some NBC producers and directors, they take things and they just kind of ruin it.
Yes.
This is like actual evidence of two people that we know who they are, how they
How
act,
funny they
how
are
funny they really
naturally,
are
yeah.
naturally, how creative they are. And we watched, and some guy did this on them with their NBC Spice.
Yes.
And then you
Spice.
watered it the fuck down.
This seems like a show that was already in the pipeline, and okay, get them to be the stars. Doesn't seem like it was something developed specifically for them. That's, again, I'm judging.
No, 100%. I agree with you, 100%.
This is what it appears to me.
It was like, yo, we have the script. Who can fit it? Yeah, how about we get these people because we want some known names. These guys can fit it. And I think reading the idea of like, robbing her uncle or whatever it is that they want to do and selling a fake license plate, like all that, like the idea of it was nice. The execution.
It's
conceptually.
It's executed like a tier 2 Egyptian comedy movie. That's the execution that comes.
The only problem is that a tier 2 Egyptian movie is funnier.
Yes, exactly. Which is execution-wise, it's weird to me.
It's too many colors.
So is it the idea that they're trying to appeal to too many different audiences? Is that the problem with the show? Is it the fact that it's not?
We all know that Ramadan is a hit and miss. From what I heard, that some of the dramas are actually very nice.
Okay,
I haven't seen those yet.
I haven't seen any. I'm not even gonna go watch, to be honest. Right, so I'll leave that to Turks to come back to me with
One day.
at some point.
some sort of harem thing that's been going on.
I wait 2 weeks. I see what filters out, but then okay, let's go check it out.
Binge
But,
watching.
yeah, so far.
Yeah, thank you, Shahid, for existing. To be honest,
My family is enjoying what I like to call Bedouin Blackface, the TV show.
Yes, Jack Al Ilm.
Yes,
Dude,
Okay.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I am sorry. That's what it is.
It is.
Bedouin blackface. Explain a little
Exactly.
bit more, basically.
جيب برجع تقول لي ويلي ويلا خلاص, that's a joke.
That's exactly the show.
Repeat that on 10
That's the
times
show.
in the episode.
Okay, so
Same concept. My husband has a woman in his house, but misunderstanding. Pam, param, param.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
okay, so you would say, but at least it's exploring a different demographic. No,
The dialogue in and of itself is amusing because it's so elevated and like, that Leonardo DiCaprio meme that has him pointing at the screen.
yeah,
A bunch of people like, I know people who talk like that.
yes.
So that's the joke. That's the joke. And أول مرة أسمع بدو يتكلم عن
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
For
exploring a
30
different
days
Yes. It's cute.
consecutively.
It's cute for the first 2 days.
وشوف,
They're already on mistake. This is a woman in my house, but mistake. Pam, param, pa, pam.
well, again, keep in mind.
That exact sound.
That's it. Wow.
Keep in mind, this started as a part of a sketch show that aired last year, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then they gave them their own show. So that tells you that it tested quite well and there's an audience. for
Yes,
it.
because
At least, yeah, that's what it tells me. I don't know what it tells.
every production company or whatever has a social media listing, and like people, they're seeing it. I like Samil. Samil is trending. Give Samil show. Jeep Flan or Flan on TikTok. That their whole stick on TikTok, and they're doing better in blackface too.
Okay. And populate the audience
Yes,
with the show with that.
I do not understand how you can keep the novelty going for 30 days.
I mean, guess
Yeah.
we'll find out, guys.
Produced by committee, basically.
isn't it usually? I can't recall. Usually,
And then the third show is Sikkat Safar 3, which is a sequel of a show that was quite successful last year and the year before. Or at least moderately successful, at least to be able to be renewed, which I enjoy. I enjoy the characters in that. I haven't been watching it this year, but I remember the one last year was
The writing on that
decent.
is solid, but it has one of the most, how can I say this, egregious bits of product placement I've seen.
Oh yeah, the Mentos.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, oh wow, like y'all were desperate for
ايش هذا
money.
منتوس؟
ايش هذا منتوس؟
كم حبة؟
كم حبة؟ طعمه لذيذ.
I mean,
فقر عينك.
somebody got their money's worth. The fact that we're talking about it tells you that it worked.
It's the best of the bunch بصراحة سكة سفر بس it's still lacking a little bit.
Still, it could be.
Yeah, it could be better. The actors are really good.
Yeah,
but they're
I
not
agree with.
utilized properly. أحس ما أدري.
Adil,
You were saying.
You were saying.
Before Shamsi
I know, right?
Before Shamsi cut you off, as usual.
Usually, don't they cut off most of these shows that are not kicking in the first 2 weeks of Ramadan?
That what?
Well, they have. They have.
cancel a couple shows
They have.
usually.
They have the time slot. So, yani, they prefer to keep it running at least.
Because I remember they canceled some shows. I remember it was last year or the year before. There was some shows that were not hitting, and they're like by I think second week it was already gone.
I think last year they delayed the airing of Sikat Safar. It was supposed to air بداية Ramadan, and then they delayed it
Yeah.
till.
I'm not talking about that one. Though.
Yeah, mid to late.
I don't remember explicitly. The only one that I remember that was cancelled back in the day was the one about Daesh. Remember that one? Gharabib Sood.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that was
Man,
pulled.
the algorithm are gonna love you today.
Yeah.
They're gonna love you today.
No, but yani, again, we're talking about you have to offer something for everyone, right? So you have your drama shows, which apparently are doing quite well, as Adil's saying.
The one that's been picking up steam as quote unquote a drama, that's an Egyptian show about the assassins back in the day. But the interesting thing is, like, it's a historical show set in the 11th century, but they're talking Egyptian Arabic.
So not really historically
Yeah, it's like
accurate.
you're seeing people like in Game of Thrones style of glows who تعال يا ولا. It's like weird.
Have you seen it, طيب?
I've seen clips about it, but people are just kind of
Roasting that part.
roasting that part. And what do you mean صلاح الدين قال عامل ايه هنا؟
Okay, بس صلاح الدين كان في مصر يعني.
But the Egyptian accent didn't exist يا ابو الشباب. Plus he was Kurdish, so he probably didn't speak Arabic حتى.
Fair enough.
It's been quiet around my house. We're moving away from shows. It's been quiet around my house lately because the Boulevard's not here. But the idea is, I feel like it's been a quiet first week of Ramadan.
I mean, people are settling in. Usually it's family time that first week. You have عزايم.
Honestly, it's
Yeah, but usually by 8
الناس ما
p.m.
تطلع يعني
But
كثير.
usually by 8 p.m. everything is packed.
yeah, it kind of snuck up on me صراحة. Ramadan بشكل عام this year specifically.
All of us.
The build up, you mean,
Yeah.
didn't feel like
Oh,
it
like
was
what do you mean? It's next week.
next week, literally, yeah.
Yeah.
It was tomorrow. That was the one. Next week. It was tomorrow. Like, oh, tomorrow? Like, okay, let's go.
No, but other than the Boulevard, حتى the cinemas, I noticed the other days, we were talking just now, Turks, some of the, you have the entire movie chain closed for the whole Ramadan. So that tells you that people's schedules are going to be different. It's going to be
People
much
are still
more.
calibrating. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, you want to give some more hate to NBC for another thing that they did?
By all means.
Sure.
What's that?
Of course.
I don't know. Were you there? Or Turks was there? Me and Turks were talking about it.
What was it?
The Big Time podcast.
Big time.
Big time.
Yes.
Yo.
So there's this show on NBC.
I gotta look at
That's a show.
Okay.
It's a show.
It's a talk show.
It's a talk show.
It's a talk show.
But they called it a podcast.
Yeah, Big Time podcast.
Okay.
We're still trying to wonder why,
And it looks like a podcast.
but it's
Like
a show.
they had like the mics, everything set up. It looks exactly like a podcast.
Okay.
But it's a show.
On TV.
I mean, yeah, like if you're gonna do something for NBC in front of NBC, just make it into a fucking show. Why call it a podcast and water it down?
because
They
it's-
like the aesthetic.
Exactly. They're using podcast as an aesthetic to a show.
'cause it sounds good, Adil. Because it sounds
Stupid,
good.
bro.
Okay?
So what you're
They
saying?
got mics that are not working. They're not plugged in.
Yes.
The
Okay.
mics are not plugged in. They're just for show. So
They
it
have-
looks like a podcast.
Okay, do they have headphones bad?
No.
Okay.
So they're doing podcast face. What you saying?
Which is a new evolution in the
No,
roller
it
faces.
really angered me. And like, yo, you're doing a show. Like, why would you do this to a show? Just make it a show.
I mean, listen, the name is catchy, no? Big Time Podcast.
I have.
How about Big Time Show?
Not as hot. But
Oh,
not
no,
as hot,
trust
not
me.
as
No,
hot.
trust me.
I have a theory.
Good.
I have a theory because they're really angling for that TikTok clip culture audience, and they clip up segments from various podcasts.
Yeah.
They caption it. Then you have Subway surfers on the bottom half for some reason, and then boom, it goes wild. Hashtag Big Time Podcast, whatever.
But it's not a podcast.
It's not available on Spotify podcast.
Here's the thing, I had
because it's not a podcast.
When you look up Big Time Podcast on
okay,
Apple,
Okay. It's there.
No.
No, do not look up.
Do not look up Big Time Podcast on
do not.
Okay, now you're just giving people ideas.
Yeah,
let's move away
On
from
Apple
it.
Podcast.
If you are
can.
fasting, do not search right now.
Are you sure?
Take phone.
Close them out. No, but Steve, let's look up the definition of podcast, right? Just,
Yo, whoa, yo.
just to make sure.
You've been doing this for
What is
so
this,
long.
research? What are you doing?
Just to make sure
Oh
we
my
don't
God.
have it wrong, right? Because we might have it wrong, you know?
Okay.
What is this? هل نحن وحدنا type
Okay.
energy?
Okay. A podcast is a program made available in digital format for download over the internet. So can I download it off Shahid?
You can't. How do you
No.
mean download it
Yeah,
off?
see, because Shahid is a streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That owns the show.
A podcast. A podcast is an audio show that's distributed in episodes. Yeah, فاهم.
Yes.
Yes. I'm just trying to make sure we're clarifying, the term podcast.
We don't need to clarify nothing, bro. You've been doing this for like almost 4 years now.
How do I listen to it?
You
Okay.
just discovered. Yo, this is
Even
so
more
you.
if you
wait,
count
wait.
the
No, hold
previous
on. This
ones.
is so you.
How do I listen to
4
a-
years later, you figure something out.
How do I listen to a podcast?
Yeah.
On your Android phone or tablet. So no TV involved here. Okay. So again, making sure I have it right. Download the Google Podcast app.
Anyway, it pissed me off.
عادل almost.
Because it's a
he's almost
show.
40.
It's a show. This guy is mentally he's 5, so at best.
But
So
again,
it's a show. It's literally a show.
It's a talk show.
Imagine this, Shamsi. Like you are a big time host, right? And I'm NBC, and I'm like, yo, we're gonna do this show, right? And you're known to do these big shows, and you come in, and you find some fake mics, 2 seats, right? And you're just talking, and you have all the setting of like a film production,
Exactly.
in small form. And I'm telling you, this is a podcast.
Not just that, have a sign behind you that says
It's
it's
a
a podcast.
Big time
in case you forget, you can just look back and just confirm that you are doing a podcast.
Bro,
You know?
I've never I wanted to break the TV because it just didn't make sense to me whatsoever. Like, what are you doing?
Shuf, maybe it's gonna keep running and then actually go on the internet, and maybe that's why they're just we're just showing you the
Why?
stars on
Why
Ramadan.
why
go
are you
through the
releasing it
hassle?
after a month? No.
Yeah, I feel like we're giving NBC a lot of ideas right now.
What? No, let's
No.
give them ideas. Let them
Please,
do what they
please
want.
give them ideas.
You know?
They need ideas.
So yeah,
they
see,
clearly need ideas.
That would make sense if it keeps running after Ramadan online on NBC/BitTime
You know for a
Podcast.
fact it's not going to run after Ramadan.
.com.
It's already recorded.
Yes. It's an expensive show. You can tell that there's money into it. But when it came to the set, they were like, what is a podcast?
Okay.
Google.
a
Like
bunch
what
of-
you just did a second ago.
That's the thing. Would you blame the current Arabic podcast formats for tricking NBC into thinking that's what a podcast is?
No. What
Tricking.
I'm
I love
blaming
how it's tricking.
is
'Cause it is. It kinda is,
No,
yeah.
This is NBC.
It's
This
some-
is NBC's doing, NBC's thought process.
Yes.
Like that show kind of gives you an idea of how NBC thinks.
Podcasts are popping.
True.
Let's make our own podcast.
Yeah,
Where do
what's-
we air
what's
it?
popping?
On
Do
a
it.
show.
On NBC.
On prime time
Eh,
on NBC
eh.
for Ramadan.
So exactly. So that means I build up an audience.
For what?
To do what? Champsy, do you know who's the host?
Yeah. I'm Radib. Yeah.
Do you think he's going to do a podcast?
I mean, I don't think he has time. He has another show.
All right.
Yeah. So
This is why I hate going into jokes in this podcast
Probably
because
not.
you ruin it.
Yeah,
okay,
thank you.
like we cannot have fun here because you're not funny.
I'm just trying to figure out reasons why it would actually make sense. And in the world of this something.
I want you to tell me a time when NBC did something and try to make sense out of it,
Yes.
and then we can have this conversation.
Yeah,
The
I'm
devil
trying.
needs no advocate. ما عليك. ما عليك.
Oh my god.
Have you watched any episodes, Tayyip, of Big Time Podcast?
Take a wild guess, Shamsi.
I'm guessing no.
The only thing that I saw is when I walked in and we were at the boys and I saw it on TV. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
NBC.
Exactly. But this is definitely
I was like, it's not-
dot.
And I'm looking at Turks is looking at me he's like, I don't know, bro. We're both
It's
lost.
just there.
Oh my god. Anyway, so check. Talk about NBC. Check. Look. Here's I want to ask you a question because
Ask us.
so some people might think, oh, he's just hating on. Okay, hold on, let me just tell you the story, right? So, do you love shimagh?
Yeah. It's a symbol of my national identity.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you love perfumes?
Mm-hmm.
It's something he uses to activate his 5 senses.
Yes. So the question is,
Okay. Yo.
so when y'all sat down, you're like, yo, I need something to inspire me to buy a perfume or shimagh. Did any time y'all
Easy.
think of Messi,
Go!
Neymar, Jose Mourinho.
خلاص.
What? Also,
Yes, Jose
Mourinho,
Mourinho.
what did Mourinho do?
Jose Mourinho has an advertisement for Asaf Ator or some shit.
oh,
What the
okay.
hell? Does he say I am Jose Mourinho?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it does.
That is hilarious.
They go,
I want to know the
That
thought
is
process.
stupid.
they also got my future wife Taylor Hill to do a perfume ad.
Who?
My future wife Taylor Hill.
See, future and wife and you do not come together.
So see again, هنا
Victoria's Secret model. لبسوها
Okay.
اللبس السعودي with that dingly dangly thing on the head.
Yes.
اللي عليه قروش.
ما شاء الله سعودي.
Yes.
MashaAllah.
It was like, مرحبا, my name is Taylor Hill. أنا أحب العطر.
okay, she said that in that tone.
Basically.
أنا أحب يا صديق.
He summarized.
Yeah, he's أعطاك الزبدة.
I'm like, wow, like y'all are spending money to do.
2 words, Adil. Global appeal.
Okay. Now, see, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because,
Is it though?
wait, sir, hold on.
I
For
can-
perfumes,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if this was advertised, I don't know, maybe let's say Europe, okay,
أيوة.
I'd be like, oh, this is our local brands going international, right?
This is the other way.
كفار يبعدون ما عندهم رمضان هذولاك.
All right. So these guys are doing commercials for me. I don't care that Jose Mourinho is
Exactly.
Asaf Ator, okay? I don't care that Neymar, what was it? It's called Brazilian tobacco.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Okay,
But
تفصيل هذا ما شاء
yes,
الله.
Ibrahim,
قرشي.
قرشي.
was it Qurashi?
That's the
It's,
Ibrahim. That's
it's one of the
usually
two.
It's one of them. I think it was him. It's called Brazilian tobacco. Yeah. So Neymar is doing advertisement for perfumes, right? And you got Jose Mourinho doing advertisement for perfume. You got the future kidnapping that he's gonna do that he calls a wife.
Future wife.
Right? She's doing perfumes. We had Georgina also do perfumes. Georgina kind of made sense because she was a local, right?
بنتنا.
Like she's here.
بنتنا.
Like she's always around. So that makes sense to me. But everybody else does not make sense to me.
Messi.
Messi for Schmag.
Serlosis.
Bro, like, am I supposed
one
to
of us.
believe that Messi's going to wear Schmag?
He's
course.
wearing it, is he not?
Always.
Yeah.
Miami. Everywhere.
No.
Welcome to Miami متلثم.
He's wearing it in the ad يا بعدول. In that 3-second clip, I will
what?
believe that Messi's
For
wearing
For
who?
what?
For who?
For audience awareness.
You want global
For-
appeal?
for global.
They don't wear
appeal.
Schmag.
What?
Okay. I want to
It's our
expand.
tradition,
Local
not
appeal.
theirs.
That's the target.
I want to
That's the
expand
issue.
my Schmag market. Is that not how?
I'm-
I
I'm-
want
Who's gonna wear schmag outside?
I'm gonna be very cynical.
I want to punch this.
I'm gonna be very cynical.
I allow it.
Okay,
Go
go
ahead.
be
Yeah,
cynical.
he has.
You punch, I give you two right behind him.
In the spirit of the month.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
You
be,
come in with the flying knee kick.
Ew.
I'm flying ahead.
Yes, go ahead. Sir, you're saying something?
Yeah, I'm gonna be very cynical. And
Oh, you?
yes, exactly.
Oh no! What a surprise!
I'm gonna be very cynical. I think the thought process behind this is that these people, when they make the advertisements, they're gonna go imagining people يروحون للمحل عطني شماغ اللي باسم ميسي عطني عطر جوزي موريني مدري شو اسمه ذا. So it's
does
it's
it?
that process.
Okay, if it's that process,
I like this person. I
are
will-
you
Yes.
really looking at it as in the wallah, this audience is so dumb that they think Messi
Yes,
will wear Schmag?
yes.
No, it's not about that.
This
It's
is
that-
what
Then what
influences.
is it about?
Is
This
that
is-
hey ابغى اشتري شماغ خلني اشتري شماغ اللي لابسه ميسي.
This
Probably
Messi
a
لابس
good-
شماغ.
Perfume makes
Hey,
sense.
okay.
Perfume makes sense.
Perfume makes
عندنا-
sense. But Messi made بالشماغ.
That perfume is different. I will smell the perfume if I like it. Okay, sure.
Yeah, but for advertisement, like you got the Johnny Depp with who was it?
لا لما اقول اعطيني
it was
عطر
Dior.
Johnny Depp.
Savage.
Okay, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure there's more than one
Have
عطر
you
Johnny
not
Depp.
No,
entered
it's
a
one.
perfume store or a clothing store? The amount of times اللي عطني عطر فلان I have heard in my life,
Yeah.
it is not as uncommon as you
So
think.
it is the thing. I'm pretty sure it is
Yes.
the thing. That's
But
what I'm saying.
schmag?
بالشماغ.
Again, this is
Messi.
blue water, blue ocean territory.
That's
it's
that's what,
smart.
that's
It
what
is
I'm
ridiculous.
thinking. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking.
It's
You
like
know?
ridiculous in every single way. Like I don't look at it and say, "Yo, oh, I want that." I'm like, why is Messi wearing schmag?
Exactly.
That's all I ask.
It's-
But you know what? They got us talking about it.
For that,
There you go.
well, I think
Talking
that's
about
part of it.
We
Oh,
are the
I'm sorry.
advertisement
You know.
now.
I'm sorry, bro. We're talking about it, but none of us are purchasing it.
Okay.
I'm buying it.
أتحداك.
I'm going out of here. Like, Mudir,
Okay,
Schmag
see,
Messi, please.
okay, so see, it's they have a website.
Is
I
it
can
good?
buy it
Hold
from
on,
their
hold on, hold
website.
on.
Okay,
Show me the picture.
تشكيلة
Show me the
Messi.
picture.
أصبر،
Might be my
أصبر.
age, Schmag. Hold on. Let me check.
ابغى اشوف تشكيله ميسي.
يا اخي when it comes to
Is it called
stupidity,
تشكيلة ميسي?
when it comes to this kind of stupidity, you know Turks is gonna be all
Of course. If it
He's
has a
gonna
goat
come-
stamp on it.
he's gonna come in wearing
شوف see that's exactly why.
he's coming to wear a Neymar perfume on the heat
Yeah.
and a Shabag Messi.
ثوب مكتوب عليه 10.
Well, there is an audience about do it. There is an audience.
Audience for what?
There's a younger audience that's gonna say, "Hey, زي ما you know, I see Ronaldo selling نوق. باخ أبغى نوق الحين. You know, because Ronaldo's selling نوق. يشرب نوق. He's an athlete. Oh, Messi is a global icon.
Is Ronaldo saying no?
He is selling نوق. Yes, he's selling نوق, bro. Have you
Yeah,
not
right.
seen it?
Yeah.
He's selling نوق وهو لابس طق من نصر.
That makes sense or not?
It does make sense.
Exactly.
Because
But
you're looking.
Shimar, this is my problem. Shimar.
Okay.
So
So
we're the same people that sat here and said we don't want our tradition to be played with.
أنا فاهم.
This is
Okay.
playing with our culture.
شوف.
Bro, it looks
لا
basic.
دقيقة. When you
No,
have.
wait. What would you say?
It looks basic. Sorry.
Shmag.
Smug looks basic. I like سيار, but this
Doesn't look like a
I
good
don't
shmag.
even know سيار, bro. Like honestly, أنا مرة طق قديمة ديسار. عارف ديسار.
Also, he looks really awkward wearing this.
عندك دونهيل.
You know ان
بسام.
الثوب جاهز
إيه.
تفصيل. إيه.
شو he does look awkward. أنا على فكرة هذا ما أخذ.
I think that's just Messi.
And why
Okay.
is Messi a redhead here? How is Messi a ginger?
فخامة أناقة في كل وقت مع شماغ سيار. لوجو إليغانسيا todo el tiempo. See, they're going for a global audience, bro. They're looking for beyond.
Who's the global audience?
ما أدري,
for
bro.
British?
Argentinians who really like Messi.
I don't know.
what?
Are we going to
This
see a conga
guy-
line in Argentina?
This is the reason why businesses fail. Okay?
Okay.
When they give you this kind of analysis, this is why people fail. They're going global with the shimar.
Me,
You're so dumb.
Anna, as the most Saudi person in this podcast, I have never bought a shimag. All my shimags have either been hand me down or thrown at me.
لا معلش أنا قبل العيد بيومين ثلاثة أروح أشتري شماغ
حق السنة.
وسروال جديد وفانيلة
سروال
جديدة
جديد حق السنة.
حق السنة أشتري 10 كل عيد أشتري 10
Too much information. Too much
No
information.
bro
A,
it's called
too much information.
ملابس
B,
العيد. زي
B.
ثوب العيد ما تفصل ثوب العيد
The height of prices. يعني the peak قبل العيد بيومين.
والله مو برخيص ذا عندهم
Not
أشماغ
this one.
غالية
This is not a Messi شماغ. I don't
عندهم
want
This is not a
شماغ
Messi
كشميري ب 1200
Yeah, that's normal.
yeah interesting I didn't know Kashmiri was
You're-
mass produced
What do you mean? Cashmere is expensive?
no I
لا يا
didn't-
شيخ.
I didn't know
What's
it
your
was
last
wait,
name?
wait, wait.
Hold on, what's your last name?
Kashmir Kashmiri you know no I get mine from cousins في الإمارات عرفت so
That's why I said, what's your last name?
yeah exactly
How do you not know it's so mainstream?
لا it's not mass produced يعني
It is mass produced.
أنا never mind
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't get it مختوم عليه اسم المحل I get it you know woven from the hand of a
the hand.
master craftsman Pakistani you know that's how I get it
Ya Allah.
شوف honestly I think it's the fact you know it got people talking about yo Messi is wearing a shmag
By the way, it didn't get anyone talking. We're the only ones talking.
I mean I'm sure
no
other
one
people
in
are
my
talking.
circle mentioned it.
Really
Nobody in my circle mentioned
just-
how
See-
many Messi fan pages have that picture on it right
And
now
how many people
Zero.
are...
how
that I've
much
seen.
how much more exposure
And
to
how-
Sayar does the world have
Sayyar, again, because Sayyar did promotions, it's kind of really hard to tell how many of them are
Yeah.
authentic. So you can't really say, well, if they say like, well, it had 100 million views. Okay, cool.
How
but
much of
many
that did you pay for?
Exactly.
And the question I have here is how much of the engagement is just people dunking on how stupid this is?
شوف honestly it got Sayar to be part of the shmag conversation now you know that there's a
How?
shmag
How do you know that? You didn't even know about it before we talked about
That's
it.
exactly the point. The fact that I didn't know about it and now I know about it.
He thinks that people are talking about
You
it.
know?
يا أخي, the way you think.
إيه لا شماغ ميسي وشو شماغ ميسي ده شماغ
You know
سيار.
what's going to happen? This is going to circulate in WhatsApp groups like 5 months from now. انظروا ميسي اعتنق الإسلام. This is the type of energy that's going to happen from this. That's going to be the lasting legacy of
WhatsApp
this.
is gonna go wild. Yeah.
طب okay other than Messi the other ones do you guys
Speaking
have
of
a problem with the other ones?
Islam,
No, perfumes.
don't divert
Makes sense.
Yeah. Do you have a problem with the other ones? The Jose Mourinho
I'll tell you, the
perfume?
perfumes I was fine with. All right.
Makes sense. لأنه again it's gonna
yeah.
get you talking. You're gonna
I
go to
was
the
fine
store.
with because you're looking at it in because we're huge. when it comes
This
to
is
perfumes.
global reach.
But at the same time, I really wish that since you're paying that kind of money, that you would go reach outside of the kingdom and make it more international.
Okay. أسألك سؤال ثاني. Who is أكثر واحد يلبس شماغ بتخليك تشتري شماغ؟
Messi.
No, for real. يعني what's the polar opposite of you know?
Give me schmuck sponsored by Dochi.
Okay,
What are
there
you
we
talking
go.
about? I'm
That's a good
buying that
answer.
tomorrow.
That's a good answer.
علي مدفع.
I don't know who that is.
he's the most Saudi actor ever. And أحسه مولود بشماغ. أنا أحسه مولود بشماغ.
Okay, hello.
Anything. It's shmag.
Yeah.
As long as it looks good with good material, I'm down.
You know, but I'm saying as a shmag
Connoisseur.
icon, you know, shmag role.
Bassam is the icon.
بس مين يلبس الشماغ? You're like, damn, that's a shmag I want to buy. You know, that's my question. أعطاك الدوخي. Dookhi is a great answer actually. No idea. Okay, you're the wrong band to ask.
No one's going to inspire me to buy a shmag, and I'm going to buy it myself either way.
Okay, hello. See, doesn't work on this guy. Advertising company.
Like I said, my schmags have been thrown at me, so I don't buy any.
My ad blocker's been going on for a while, huh? Can we go to other news?
Yes, please.
Go to whatever you want to say a second ago.
The Ummah has gained another member, the famous rapper Lil Jon.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Alhamdulillah. Allah
Congrats.
يتقبل منه.
Congrats.
Welcome to the family.
يهدي أهله. إذا ما انهدوا لسه.
Where are you going? Please go on. Please go on.
Continue the thought.
This is a very good thing then, because if anything, it inspires his community to, you know, explore his new religion and hopefully any also join it.
Yeah. So Saad Sazzle Mango put this as a comment there. Brother finally figured out what he's turning down for.
Yo. Stupid. Wow. That is stupid.
It's good. It's good to hear from him. It's good to hear him. Yes, I'm glad he's alive.
Hey,
honestly.
hey, yo.
It's good,
This guy, how many times he's been killing people on the podcast?
I'm just saying, bro. It's been a minute, you know.
Oh my god, I hate you.
So this is we saw the clip, Yanni, so that's why we're talking.
So again, as usual, we didn't solve anything. I still think using Messi for Shmag is a stupid idea in every single shape or form. I don't know what kind of influence I think we're getting out of that one.
How much do you think they paid him?
Oh, that's
A lot.
See, this is what kills me.
This is the problem.
Like you could pay him so much money and you could have done so many things with it, but you decided, you know what? بوريكم اللي حطيت ميسي لابس شماغ. This is you doing.
You're saying this was a bet? This was a
أنا
bet.
حطه شماغ.
No, honestly, I think
Who views Messi in a lot of things بصراحة.
يا شيخ.
I don't see how they can top it though.
That's called a contract, yeah, tricks.
Exactly. Oh my god. Anyway, off to other news before we close off this podcast. By the way, it's been 36 minutes for a minute.
Wow.
It didn't move.
Okay.
Anyway, so here are the key Saudi economic events in 2023. Thank you, number one, for sending it.
I love me too.
Be careful. Be careful. Be careful.
That's going to be a t-shirt. I'm just saying.
All right, so below is a list of key events in chronological order. Number one.
For 2023 or 2024?
Take a wild guess. I want you to take a wild
I don't know.
guess.
I'm not sure.
Because we're in March. Okay.
2025.
Okay.
Don't say things.
don't talk.
Don't talk.
Number
Cease.
one, inclusion of Dar'iyah project as the fifth major project owned by PIF.
Fifth Giga project specifically.
Fifth.
Okay.
Do you know what we're talking about here?
Not really.
These are the key economic events in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I was asking.
Ramadan has
That's
been
what I
doing
was asking.
business. I don't know if it's Ramadan or just you.
Yeah, it's just me.
I think it's just you by now. Anyway, that was number
So
one.
it's the separation of Dar'iyah Authority into Dar'iyah Authority and Dar'iyah Company, right?
Basically, the PIF has 4 giga projects that are their own category of investment. Neom, the Red Sea, Roshan, Qiddiya, and now we have Dar'iyah as well. The fifth one.
Okay.
Because I think everyone's understanding how huge Dar'iyah is going to be.
Yeah.
Even in terms of size.
No, I think at this
I
point,
think they have like Dar'iyah 4 by now. Or I think they just finished Dar'iyah 2.
It keeps going.
so it's basically kind of rebuilding that entire city of Dar'iyah.
Everything.
Like we're talking about from offerings for tourists to
Housing,
residential lifestyle, you know, museums,
Housing,
cultural.
school, like the whole 9 yards. You can live there as a community and it's also a historic place.
So you have Riyadh and you have Dar'iyah. So that's kind of like two separate cities in a sense.
These giga projects are their own class and they're offering something completely unprecedented. So that's why Giga is involved.
Number 2 is Hajj pilgrims return to pre-COVID levels.
Yay.
Which is how many?
I think it was 2 million.
2 point something, almost 3.
Yeah. Because remember for a while it was under 1. It was around 1. I think it was around 1.
Yeah, and obviously during COVID there was
Limitations.
much less than that as well.
Limitations and stuff. Safety.
Number
health regulations.
3, launch of the Events Investment Fund with 14 billion riyal investment capital.
That's a lot of money.
14 billion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that you guys do not remember us talking
remember
about the
that.
investment,
I remember
the
that.
events
I actually
investment fund. It says here the Crown Prince, God bless him, launched the events investment fund under his chairmanship with the aim of developing sustainable infrastructure to support 4 promising sectors: culture, tourism, entertainment, and sports.
Is this related to the new arena that was announced in Diriyah?
No,
No, this is-
Qadiyya you're talking about. The
Qadiyya.
Formula
Yeah.
1?
No, not the.
No,
the
the football stadium. It's not a football stadium. It's a.
There's
arena.
one. There's one in Diriyah that.
Is it a
saw
football stadium?
I
saw a
don't
couple of days ago, which is basically something that's designed in a very holistic way. Like you look at it from the outside, it looks like
Yeah, but this is not really. This is purely on events, investments to that degree.
okay.
So basically, it's going to be investing in infrastructure. So I think this one's going to have a lot of investments when it comes to Qadiyya.
Yeah,
And
Expo is
Qadiyya
coming.
is going crazy also. Number 4, the new company's law takes effect in Saudi Arabia. The new company's law and its executive regulations take effect on January 19th, allowing the division of the stock nominal value. That one, for
a bit
most of
more
our listeners,
corporate.
it's okay.
Not relevant.
relevant.
Brokies.
Number 5, launch of transit visa for air visitors. That was quick. Now you can just get visa the second you land.
Basically, and spend how long? Couple
I
of
think
days?
3 months, 90 days.
Oh, 90 days.
Yeah, 90 days.
Okay.
Number 6, appointment Ayman al-Asiri as Sama governor. Sama, like, we love y'all, but we need money to buy housing, and like housing is expensive. So like we kind of need y'all to figure out a way that we can, take money off of banks, but have more risk.
Yeah.
So we can buy the housing that we can't really afford at this point.
We're trying to.
Love you, Sama.
Thanks. Hearts.
We love you. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Number 7, licensing the first branch of foreign insurance firm in the kingdom. Insurance is about to blow up here, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
How come?
Oh, with the whole changes in medical insurance and everything that we have.
Yeah, with the privatization.
Yeah. Now also you're mandatory for everybody to have car insurance. Thank God.
It's been mandatory for a while.
No, yeah, for like a couple of months now.
Yeah, but the medical insurance is going to be.
Soon, it's sometime this year or pre-launch of it. I think it's gonna be sometime this year.
Sometime this year it's gonna pick up.
Yeah, I know it's this year, but it's going to be. Everyone's going to have health
Yeah,
insurance.
free healthcare.
Free healthcare. Yes. Insurance companies basically, what do they get a benefit out of
Competition is good.
Yes.
this? Ah, okay.
Because at the end of the day, they get paid by the government.
Ah,
So-
okay. So pay me to give you better healthcare than the free
Yes,
one.
competition is good.
Number 8, a directive to grant 100 million square meters of land in Riyadh and other cities witnessing a rise of prices. La ya sheikh. This
What,
is what
what,
we're just complaining. The Ministry of Municipality, Rural Affairs and Housing announced that the Crown Prince directed granting the residential sector 100 million square meters of land in Riyadh and other cities that are witnessing a rise of land. So basically, the real estate housing thing.
Expanding basically the scope for development.
Yes. And okay. Get them على البيت.
Yeah.
Number 9, PIF invests 5 billion riyal. Oh my God, every time I see PIF doing something, I just get really, really jealous. PIF
I want to invest 5 million.
Exactly, bro. PIF invests 5 billion in new shares in 4 national companies in the construction sector. I
Okay.
really
Exactly.
hope-
Expanding the development.
Yes. They invest in some really big heavy hitters.
Such as.
Nesma and Partners,
Okay.
Safe Engineering, Al Bawani Holding,
So the people,
Advantage General Contractors.
people who basically built a large percentage of the country.
Number 10 was the launch of the new square development. The
Murabba Al Jadid.
Murabba Al Jadid. The one that's didn't start yet, right?
Progress is
I passed by it, but I don't see. anything happening.
I've seen it on social media, like people just seeing the cranes, etc.
I thought, did they put up cranes yet?
The construction, whatever it is.
All right,
yeah.
okay, damn.
I'm not a technical man.
All right,
Person.
I'm sorry. Number 11, announcing new features and solutions for the updated housing subsidy program. Secondly, we don't have much details on that because we're very rich. So we were just begging for houses.
Some of us.
But we're still looking.
Number 12, the Capital Market Authorities Board reshuffle. Yeah, that one. Go investments.
Hey.
Number 13, Sharik announces first bundle of projects.
That chant. That chant is just
I love how
priceless.
we're getting into the analysis of all of these things, you know.
I'm just reading as we go, bro.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things.
I love the A. Thank you for the A.
I'll ask you a better question rather than going through this whole list. Do you feel the changes? Or do you feel like since COVID, everything kind of slowed down, that it's been more announcements and things to look forward to than actual changes that are happening?
Adil, I'm wealthy.
God bless your soul.
Yeah, so
let the brokey speak.
yeah, so it's like I can't really speak. I'm gonna stay in my lane.
Remember when 4K TV came out and you didn't notice the difference?
What do you mean? I noticed the difference. Come on,
I didn't
can
notice
see
the difference. I did not notice it until I went back to full HD. I'm like, oh, okay.
I can see the pores and the freckles.
That's a good way of putting it.
So I think that's what I'm experiencing. Salaha.
So you're still in 4K right now. So you have no idea what HD was.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't take a step back. If I take a step back, I'm gonna go like,
And
oh
the
no.
question, I never said take a step back. I said, do you feel like there's a lot of changes still happening?
What's the time scale we're talking about here?
I'm asking you today.
I think-
today, and
I
do you
think-
feel?
I think this is a you know that old saying that a frog in a boiling pot, if you slowly turn up the heat, he won't notice. This is that, but in a positive sense.
No,
I'm bad with metaphors. I'm sorry.
No, but you see, and that's
Are
the
you
thing.
comfortable?
Alhamdulillah.
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 Yeah, alhamdulillah.
So when you're comfortable, you don't really see what's around you anymore.
No, but again, if we're talking about, let's see, one of the indicators here was pre-COVID, right? So if we're talking about the world we lived in pre-COVID and the world we lived in today, no, it's a very different world today, isn't it?
How?
In terms of your environment, at least in Riyadh, what it's doing in terms of NEOM, in terms of looking at these projects and how they're progressing, how they're starting, how they're
Okay, until when you say pre-COVID, you talk about before the lockdown. Are you just looking at the lockdown, or are you looking at COVID overall?
No, I'm talking about before the lockdown. Any method, for example, we're talking about Kingdom Arena. This is now a permanent fixture that's in Riyadh that's offering entertainment events on a regular basis. And maybe that's a small thing. Maybe that's beyond everything else that we're talking about. But that is something that is added to the structure of the city that is going to be remaining. We're talking about Qadiyya starting and developing and offering that entertainment destination for everybody in the city. We're talking about Red Sea operating and offering you, again, we're talking about all these giga projects that were announcements a couple of years ago, and now they are reality, and you're seeing them come to reality. So I would say, yes, in that sense, I am feeling the changes.
I would say, again, putting my personal experience aside, monetarily, what I have noticed is just a general change in how people conduct themselves, how just people live their lives, the expectation and the roof of how can I say this, toqat has increased significantly. So people know their worth, know their value, know what they're expecting. The idea that we will be talking so much about personal entrepreneurship in this day and age compared to, I don't know, like 5-10 years ago, it's inconceivable. How many people here know people who are just seriously talking about, you know what, I'm going to start my own business, ويحل عربك, and the support is there.
Definitely. We
So
know people
that-
who already have. يعني.
That change in mindset to me is something that is undeniable.
So we had. This is what I was looking for, Shamsi. You were talking to me about the projects. I'm talking about quality of life. Because
You're talking about mentality.
said, no. That what he said. If you don't have an increase in quality of life, you're not going to be able to have those possibilities. You're not going to have that confidence. But because everything around you is built somewhat to empower you, that raises quality of life, quality of thinking.
Yeah, so I would say that there's a support system that now exists that didn't exist before. There's
I
encouragement.
think even if that support system is gone, that whatever happened the last 5 years has driven people 6-7 years. Let's say
It's a paradigm shift.
Yes.
People have changed.
that's it.
Yes.
Like you cannot take them back to what they were, and now people are looking at the increase in quality of life that we had 7 years ago became the standard now. Now,
And it's still increasing. Like we're still not
Yeah.
done.
yeah,
with
but that's the standard now. So which means that everything else that people are looking for is a plus on top of what I get.
4K TV.
Yeah, so the analogy is good.
Yes.
Correct in your.
All my analogies are good.
God bless you.
No, but so, there's a question there as well. Are we satisfied right now with what we have? No, we're still striving for more. We're still pushing to develop the country in
Well, the
further-
country is striving for more. I don't know if the people are striving for more. I see a lot of there was a huge shift in business families that started pushing their children to run their own business away from the family business itself.
Yes.
Trying to grow more businesses
diversification.
because there's a lot of opportunities available.
True.
But the question is, how many of those people are actually going after those opportunities?
Here's the thing. My position is that the 10 to 15% that make it will lift up the rest. You know, the big hits and the big successes will subsidize the less ambitious or the less successful entries into their respective fields. That's my position. You can't all be runaway successes, but the runaway successes will help the less successful, I believe. Again,
So it makes sense, and not everybody's going to win all
it's
the
basically,
time.
It sounds like you're saying, "Oh, trickle down."
no, not
That's
not
kind of what he's
trickle
saying.
down.
It's kind of
He's kind of saying also a rising tide,
Yes,
in a sense.
a rising tide lifts all boats.
But that's with the rising. We've been living the rising tide. The fact that you have so many opportunities that have opened up in hospitality, in tourism, in entrepreneurship. Like the point you said is also right, because yes, I see it around me now. I wasn't there 6-7 years ago. I didn't have people talking about quitting their jobs and starting their own businesses.
Yes,
but
And-
I think
But let's also be honest. You starting a business, coming up with a fresh idea, the biggest issue that you have is that the market itself is now willing to pay
Yes.
new money for fresh ideas.
that's the point I was going to make here.
Yes.
The point is that we have a lot of people entering the market with, hey, I have something and I'm going to make it work. The issue here is that that's not how the markets have been at all. You look at the market, what is a gap in the market that I can fulfill, and you service that niche. You don't go in with your $1 million idea because your $1 million idea might be stupid.
Even if it's not stupid, let's say you go into an existing market. Let's say we go into marketing.
يعني
right?
خلاص ما كفاية قهوة يا شباب.
Leave that aside.
No,
Okay.
listen, they're still hitting though.
Let's go because again, I don't agree with that one because F&B in Riyadh always hits.
And
bro.
يعني لسه
You
في-
can open up anywhere else. You still make
Yeah,
at
maybe
least-
that's my own bias here, but
Yeah, because
you get
you're
the
rich.
idea.
But no, what I'm talking about is, I don't believe that. Actually, I'm not gonna say that because someone's gonna hold me accountable for it. But what I want to say is, if you're looking at the marketing sector, marketing advertising, right? There's an X amount of percent in it that you can actually come and take, right? You already have the big four owning 30%, let's say, of the market, 20% over here, 10% over here. So you coming into that market with a fresh idea, with a fresh take, everything new, you are not going to be valued like them. Because you are not those names, I'm going to pay you less. So you can have a better idea than what Leo Burnett is going to offer me, but I'm not going to give you Leo Burnett money.
You don't have that brand recognition.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
So
Very
this
true.
is the problem with starting new businesses because you can, like, a lot of places, I'm not saying everywhere else, but a lot of places in the world, even if you're a fresh company with a fresh idea, people treat you as the market is treated. You get paid as the market
You get
is.
the respect.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're not being told, oh, you're new, you're not Google, I'm not going to give you Google money. See what I mean? Here, we still have that problem that businesses will do business with you, but you will not get the contract that you think you deserve, that you know Leo is getting and everybody else is getting. I'm not trying to use Leo as an example, but you know,
But see, that's
someone
the-
well known, Yani.
Yeah. I can't speak to that honestly in terms of how businesses operate, but I do see that as an issue if you put it that way. Honestly, it's going to lead to less growth. It's going to lead to less motivation. It's going to lead to less passion for people to actually get into the market if they know that's something they're going to have to end up facing.
Well, that's what's happening right now. Why do we have a lot of old companies opening up and closing down? Because they're coming in with fresh new ideas. Marketing agencies are shutting down almost every single week.
I know for me, it's also weird seeing all these delivery apps that are still coming up. Like now you're getting to a point where you have 5 or 6, 7 different delivery apps, and you still, yes, it's a very lucrative space. Yes, it's very
Yeah,
competitive. but
basically they're
what are you competing on?
they're
here?
competing.
they-
They're competing for discounts.
No, they're competing to get acquired.
Okay.
I'm coming to take some share of the market that you, Ya Jahez, want. And by the time you see me owning that market, you're like, you know what? Rather than me going investing money into fighting in that place, I just come acquire you and you become me.
Yeah, correction. They're not fighting for discounts. They're offering. That's their USP. And okay, if you use me, you get X% off from supermarket X.
So I'm cheaper, basically.
Whatever. Like basically, what's gonna make you different than competitor number 2?
Shuf, keep in mind, this is also a good thing. Like if we're looking at, again, from the period to 6-7 years, as you put it, from before the lockdown to now, the fact that we have all these big Saudi technology companies being able to throw their weight around and be able to have these conversations is the progress that we're talking about here. Yeah, I feel, and again, these are the things that maybe are you forget about them very easily, but they have played a big effect in your life.
Yeah, but those things have nothing to do with where the direction of the country is going. Those things were always happening from before. You're getting acquired. There's so many. How many like delivery apps have came out in the last 9 years?
A lot.
بالهبل. And most of them got acquired by Hunger Station or Jahez or
No, I'm
some
talking about
Kuwaiti company that
Kareem
was
is an
called-
Uber company.
the innovation,
Kareem and Uber.
the innovation that's coming out of, the paradigm shift. Hey, it's space. We have something new that we can do. Let's get into this market.
Yeah, okay. Then you get into this. Oh, okay, Shams, that's what we're talking about. You can get into the market, but are you treated as an equal in the market?
Apparently not.
That's what we're talking about here. The biggest issue is that you can get into a market, but you do not get your value until you become a guy that can contend with those guys. Then that's when you see your value. I'll give you an example. One of our friends was bidding for a big telecom company.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about, right? And he spent I think a whole month he disappeared just working on that presentation to get that local company. And they're also a local company, right? They have all the capabilities that's needed for you to run such a huge conglomerate, right? And yet, because they were local, they were not what those other people are, they couldn't get it. Even though Kafu, they can get the work done, they know the market very well, Minno Fina and everything, but still they could not get the contract because they were not the company
Perceived.
and that company is that company.
They were not
They're not.
perceived in that way, basically.
But it's kind of hard.
Is it a perception issue, though?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a perception issue. I do not really know.
Lack of trust in
Lack of trust is 1,000%.
and local capabilities.
Oh, that's 1,000%. I'll give you an example.
No, it's a chicken and egg situation. If I don't get the experience, then I won't be able to get the trust. But in order to get the experience, I need the trust. How do I get out of this?
Oh, it's simple.
Somebody needs to take a
Someone
leap.
needs to take a bet on you,
Yeah, exactly.
or someone that you know
Leap of faith.
believes in your work and puts in a good word, and you get sponsored by someone.
Or you need to do something that's so good that it's undeniable, basically. That it's
Get
so
traction on
successful.
social media for doing something like, oh my God, this is so wild. Who did this? Okay, now we want to deal with you. Now we're willing to pay for you because you showed numbers.
Work extra hard, basically,
Exactly.
to get out of the box.
And then that's where the biggest competition is. Everyone is fighting for themselves to be shown as something really, really great because they all believe in themselves. But how many people are going to say, I believe in you? And I think you're worth this. Because if someone is so creative and I give him $1 million, going to go to Leo Burnett, imagine what he's going to do with
What
that
he can
money.
do with that million.
Exactly. How is he going to grow his business? How many of him that we're going to have?
That's the risk you're going to have to take, though. You person giving the million.
Yeah, me as a business person, I'm gonna see the person's work. If the work is great, then I'll give him that. If not, it's how it goes, bro. I can't say, I'm not willing to pay $1 million to Leo. Let me go pay 300 to this guy, bro. What was your budget? You had a budget, use it. But I don't know, bro. This market is weird.
People are weird.
ما غريب للشيطان.
Well, I don't
Excuse
even
me.
know.
I don't know. I don't know where you came from. Well, anyway,
That's called مداخلة.
I want to take a second to give a shout out to Galag since we were talking about local business. Because I was telling, I think Galag might hate me for this, but it's usual.
يستاهل الشوت اوت ويستاهل الهيت بعد.
I was telling Galag we were talking about, can't remember because I don't want to say it on the podcast,
Yeah.
but
Something.
we got into fashion and what's been going on. If I was telling him about a conversation I was having with someone, and he couldn't believe that Galag is only one person. Like it's not one person, and it's a small, very small team.
Galag is an idea.
It's a state of mind.
Actually, yes.
Because we were talking about his drops, right? Because how he always has amazing things coming out from Galag Garage to whatever, and there's always content happening, everything's happening. And they were telling me like, oh, in order for me to make my brand so powerful, I need to have like X amount of people working for me on these things in order for me to bring it to life. So I was telling him, I was like, Galag is just like Galag, right?
It's just a dude.
He was like, what do you mean? I was like, it's just a small team. I think that at most maybe 3. And he comes up with the concepts and they work on it and they come up with ideas together and like he just knocks them out the park and then he goes
Produces.
like he contacts the factories himself and then he gets it. Like he doesn't have an art director. He doesn't have a creative director. He doesn't have a purchasing guy. He doesn't have a logistics guy. Like does not have any of that, and
He just has Galag himself.
he didn't look for investments. He's not.
You know why
asking-
Adil he doesn't know he has? You know why he doesn't have any of those things, Adil? Because Galag. It's literally why he doesn't have any of those things, man. I'll just get it done myself.
That's all. Not only that, that's dedication and hard work and believing in yourself.
And not just that, honestly, that's just yani.
Actually, this actually falls to what we were talking about. You have a local brand that speaks to a culture. It's a streetwear brand that everybody in the street knows what it is, right? It deserves to be recognized because of all the great work that they do, right? But does the market look at Galag as, yo, this is our streetwear brand?
No.
And the question becomes why? And we're not gonna have this conversation here. Let's know Galag when he comes back on his annual August
Annual.
podcast.
Rantathon.
That's right.
Okay.
But we'll see by then. By then, he's gonna have so many drops out, so we can really ask him these questions.
No, but see, Chef, yani that you kind of. I love how we made a full circle here, and we came back to the point. Yes, why does the market not know enough about Galag? This guy has been doing it. It's been doing a great job at it. He's been, diverse. He's been unique. He's been quality. Honestly, so
He's been given back.
we'll wait for you to come Galag to answer this question. Honestly, we don't have the answers.
You know what's the problem?
We don't got the answers,
the-
Adam. You don't got the
The
answers.
problem is he's gonna call me.
Yeah.
He's gonna call me.
Yo.
By the way, the last time we were talking about shows, I was sitting here. I think it was like 1 a.m, and I see Galag calling me, and I pick up, and the first thing he said, "Your ideas are trash." He's like, "What are you talking about? The audience is the problem." No, the problem is. I'm like, I asked him.
You taught him well, Adil. You taught him well, honestly. This is how you start a conversation, Adil. Exactly.
Like, every time he hits me up and he starts with, "You're an idiot," I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Alaikum assalam. Much love, Galag. Much love. We miss you, homie. Honestly, miss you.
We love you, Galag.
Yeah.
We do.
And honestly, loving the new stuff that,
Yeah, his day's drop was wild.
it's coming out looking good. Very
His F1 drop was really, really good, by the way.
He just put it on the website, I think.
Yeah.
Not you. Them.
Just passed by Urban Lot right here. You can pick it up from
Jiran.
والله يبيده والله.
Yeah, you can pick it up from Urban Lot. We need to go past by Kamal. I was going to pass by him before Ramadan. And then I got busy because I have a life. And he was in Jeddah doing some weird shit.
Oh, you have a life.
Yes. See, I come here with stories, Shamsi. I do things in life.
نستنى رمضانيات الاسبوع
Thank
الجاي.
God for joining us. رمضانيات عادل.
رمضانيات الاسبوع الجاي. يا جماعه انتم ما انتم فاهمين. The man has a full setup at باب بيته with like a big ass. I don't even know what it is.
We appreciate this month.
Yeah. الحمد
It's
لله.
our month. Alhamdulillah.
الحمد لله.
I have a life too, but I can't give you the حدثني أحد الأخوة stories I get every day يعني.
عندكم
I was also born in this.
رمضان decorations in بيتكم؟ احنا عندنا ترى.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Take a wild guess.
Take a wild guess.
You know who he is.
I would assume-
You know his family.
I would assume
and you
no.
said decorations.
I would assume no. Okay. ما عندكم هلال تستقبلون فيه الناس عند الباب؟
You know those lights they put up when someone gets married?
Yeah.
They don't even have those.
Come on. You don't have those?
What is joy?
كشاف كده. They just open the door. هذه زوجتك. Just close it.
Look at my face.
يلا kids.
That's the expression. That's my face.
Like, you have no
That's
face.
expression.
Oh, the new drop is nice والله.
Told you, it's a beautiful job.
إيه.
طب يلا urban lot. مش
يلا.
أنا؟
Anyways, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. I hope you guys, this wasn't a heavy episode on you because it was heavy on me. Having to deal with these guys.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. We out?
Gouts.
Peace.
Peace.